thumbnail.
Hey, what's up, Simple Core Nerds? Ricardo here. Another episode of Simple Core Nerd Nation. I'm here with the one and only Christina. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing well.
Good. We're here. We're at this place called Communion Coffee Shop. It's actually pretty cool. I've got tea. I feel like Uncle Iroh. And you just got a lavender.
I got a lavender roast latte.
And so we're gonna be drinking as we talk. So yeah.
It's so good. So good, you guys.
It's behind the QT on Beltline, so if you guys haven't been here, come out. So let's get right into it. This was for you. You had posted, you went to Akon and cosplay for the first time, I think 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. What was your first cosplay, and how has Akon changed between 2009 to 2019?
Oh God. So my very first cosplay was Mitsuru Kirijo from Persona 3, because that's just what I was playing at the time. So I was just like, yeah, that's fine. And my roommate at the time really wanted to go to Akon, and I was like, well, I've been a couple times, like, I'll go with you. Like, she'd never been to a convention before, so I was like, okay, I'll kind of show you how it works. Mm-hmm. And she was like, well, I want to cosplay, and I didn't want to cosplay alone. I was like, okay. So I just picked a character from a video game that I was playing at the time, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. It was simple, school uniform type stuff. So.
Okay, so just like a classic cosplay?
Most of it was thrifted, and then I sewed a couple things, modified a couple things, but like I would say 90% of it was just thrifted, and I put it together.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so you had gone to cons before Akon in 2009. How long have you been going to cons? Do you
Since
remember?
I was 15.
Really?
So 14 years, almost 15 years.
What was your first con?
Akon 16.
Akon 16?
Yes. Yeah.
What was that one held? Was it still? Again,
I was in Dallas still, and it was where the Sheraton. It was at the Sheraton, but it used to be called something else.
Okay.
And I don't remember what the old name was, but the hotel was called something else at the time.
Oh yeah, I know it's changed a number of times. Like, hey, it's in Anator, it's at the Sheraton, it's in Fort Worth, it's at Fair Park. So.
But I mean, if you're talking about how it's changed, that's the main thing. Keep jumping around everywhere.
Quit breaking hotels. That's why it keeps jumping around.
That's it. Be respectful.
So you had gone to a couple of Akons before. How come you didn't cosplay before? Was it not really on your radar? Did you?
I saw people cosplaying, and when you're 15, you don't want to be like. I guess it was just a matter of fitting in. It wasn't cool back then, I guess. I mean, it wasn't even cool in 2009. Like, a lot of people weren't doing it. But it was just, I had just started going to conventions, and I was a little overwhelmed as a teenager. Yeah. And I didn't really know how to sew. I'd never used a sewing machine before. So I just kind of I don't know. I just didn't do it. It just wasn't something that I was interested in at the time.
How did Akon kind of catch your attention? How did you find out about Akon?
Through my sister and her friends, because they went to Akon. I was like, oh, what's Akon? And we're all in anime. Like, I've been in anime since I was like 7 or something.
Okay, cool.
Like since I was little. But yeah, so they were like, hey, there's this convention that's all for anime, and it's really cool. And I was like, oh, I want to go. My dad was like, you're too young, so I had to wait a couple of years.
What was so you said you were into anime since you were 7. Do you remember what your first anime was? Was it like Pokemon, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z?
If you want to count Pokemon, that was probably, if you want to count Pokemon, that was definitely my gateway drug into anime. And then it went on to like Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I started watching other anime that on like Anime Unleashed, and that's a throwback. Toonami, like Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, stuff like that. Yeah. So I kind of got off of the mainstream stuff, and then I started in high school. I started torrenting anime. Don't do it, kids. It's illegal. But I mean, fan subs are great.
Yeah, definitely. So when I was getting like my first anime, I guess was like Pokemon 2. Then I did Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. With me being a boy at the time, whenever Sailor Moon came out, I'm like, nope, change the channel, play. But now, I mean, like I've seen bits and pieces of it here and there, and I'm like, okay, this is actually really, really cool. It's it's a huge fandom.
I never actually got into Sailor Moon.
No. Did you ever watch one called Card Captors?
Oh yeah, I watched Card Captors. I like magical girl stuff like that, and then but I never really got to Sailor Moon.
Sorry, there's people like walking around.
Public places.
Yes. So once you started going to Akon and you started cosplaying, what kind of made you want to keep cosplaying?
I'm gonna find out how much fun it was. So my actual first introduction to making costumes was the year previous, like right before I graduated high school. My friends and I, we were going to Akon, and we all wanted to cosplay from a manga called The Great Man. Have you heard of that? Okay. So there's this manga called The Great Man. We were super into it, and we were all going to cosplay from it. And so that's when the first time I used a sewing machine was when I was 18. But I helped my friend make her costume, so I ran out of time to make my own. So I had plans and was started being interested in like 2008, but I didn't actually pull the trigger until 2009. But yeah, what was the question? What was the
that you enjoyed being a cosplayer the first time?
Oh yes, because it's just a lot of fun. So because the character I was cosplaying was kind of obscure, the few people that actually knew who I was got really excited.
Ooh.
They were like, "Oh my god, it's whatever." And
that's always the fun part.
Yes. So on one hand, like cosplaying obscure characters is pretty fun, and like that's almost all I did for a little bit. Like, I did like mashups, or I did original concepts, or I did like obscure characters, because I just think it's really cool and people get really excited when they see they're like, "Oh my god, there's someone else who likes this too." But I kept doing it because it was fun. And then I started being part of cosplay groups. Cosplay groups are my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Especially when they're full of people who are like great communicators and they're all working together because they want this group to be amazing. Because they can be stressful, right?
Yeah.
Because whenever you get a group of people together, it's always
I mean, it's like a group project.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. But once it all comes together, just seeing everyone together, it's just so much fun. It's my absolute favorite. And that's like almost all I did for a little bit was group cosplays. Like I didn't really cosplay on my lonesome. I did a couple, but most of the time I was just like, hey, let's be in a group.
What was the first big group cosplay you did?
I was part of a group called it was Superhero Princesses. And so it was all the Disney princesses,
kind of erotic.
Superhero versions of them. Yeah. It's not erotic. What did you say?
Princess Batman.
Oh.
That's why it's kind of like, oh, snap.
Yeah,
I wish I'd been around for that one.
Yes. So this was in 2011.
Okay, so that was like 2 years before I even got into the cosplay community.
Really? Well, this was out in LA. When did we do it? I think we did it at San Diego Comic-Con in 2011. Yeah, that's where we were. I went to SDCC from 2010 to 2014, and then I haven't been back since.
Yeah,
I miss it so much. It's so much fun.
This year's the 50th anniversary of
I know.
SDCC.
I was trying so hard to go. But
So yeah, I went 2017, and I've been one time, and I remember the first time when I walked through those doors and I got on the actual floor, like because you're outside and then you get in and there's like the hallways, and then
Right.
once you go actually past the hallways into the actual, like I was just standing there and I started crying. I'm like,
Really?
I made it.
Yeah.
I've made it. So it was really, really fun.
It's so great. Like, I know people are like, oh, especially people have been going for years and years and years. They're like, oh, whatever, it's just Comic-Con. But like, if you have the chance to go at least once, it's great to experience, especially if you like the con scene.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
It was the cosplay was just amazing, and it's just there's so much to do there. Like it's just every fandom's there, so it's a lot of fun. What's been your favorite like big group cosplay that you've done, or give me a couple of favorite ones?
Oh God, probably the Disney princess. It was my superhero Disney princesses. It was based off of artwork by. I think it's Tess Fowler. No, I don't. Cut this part out.
We'll look it up.
Don't put this in the video because I don't want to. This is embarrassing. I know who the artist is. I just can't remember them at this time.
I'll try to edit it.
Yeah, edit this out. So, my favorite cosplay groups. Definitely the Disney superhero princesses, and because it was my first big group. It was the first group where like I was out in LA. It was like my second San Diego Comic-Con, so it was just great to be included and to be cosplaying at such a big convention. And then a couple years later, I was part of DC Superheroes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, that's what it was called. It was DC Superheroes. And I was Black Canary as part of that group. and then we did like a lot of these same people were on the same groups. But then we did the Bombshell, DC Bombshell covers.
I remember those, yeah.
Yeah, by Aunt Lucia.
Yeah. Did you do those over there or did you do those here?
Oh, this is all out in California.
All in California?
Yeah. But that group was so much fun because everyone who was in that group was just on it.
Yeah.
Like, we were in the group, we were all communicating. If people needed help, people were helping. There wasn't like drama or anything like that. And I think
that must be nice.
For a group that big, there was 18 of us.
Wow.
Right. We had every single Bombshell cover that was out at that time.
Yeah.
And there were a couple people who ended up not being able to show up like the day of, which is fine.
Yeah.
Whatever, it happens. But the fact that we had 18, we're organizing 18 people.
And there was no
group,
drama?
Well, not that I was part of it.
There you go.
I had fun.
There you go.
But that was just, it was an amazing experience. And then like, just walking around, because this was also San Diego Comic-Con, just walking around and like, we got to go up on the DC stage, like on their booth and all that stuff. That was probably like the most fun cosplay group.
Who were you in during the Bombshell? Were you also?
I was Batwoman.
Batwoman, nice.
But that was before the figure came out, so like my costume wasn't exactly accurate, but whatever. All I had was the cover to go off of.
Yeah, so you work with what you got. So
Yeah.
I mean, if they only had the cover, then that's what you go with. So.
And that cosplay actually got published in a pinup magazine because it was Bombshell. So like a lot of us that were in that group, there was one of the ladies who was in that group. She has a pinup magazine called Cupcake Quarterly, and she was like, "Hey, I want to feature all the Bombshells."
Nice.
Yeah, so that was fun. I have some copies in my car actually.
Nice. So have you ever see her around? Say, "Hey, do you have a copy of that?" She might.
No, I only have 2 left, and they're mine.
Never mind. Just gonna frame this. So did you grow up here in Texas, or did you grow up out in LA?
No, I grew up in Texas. I grew up in Fort Worth, and then went to college in College Station, and then I moved out to LA for a year, and that was probably the funnest year of my life. And then I moved back to Texas.
Why LA?
A couple of reasons. There was a person out
That's
there.
usually how it starts.
But also College Station kind of, like, sorry if you love College Station, you love A&M or whatever, but I don't like small towns. In College Station, being a college town, being small,
Yeah.
I was going crazy. And so I had an opportunity to leave, so I took it. And yeah, so that's where I met a lot of my longtime cosplay friends was out there.
Yeah.
Like, cosplay scene out there is amazing. I love it. Like, most of the people are really, really, really nice, and they're really supportive. Of course, you have your bad apples anywhere, but also California is just fun.
It is.
I love California. So
I've been twice. I've been in 2017, and then I went back in 2008 for a mission trip, and it was just absolutely awesome.
yeah.
So, and you met Megan down in Conversation, though, right? Was that
I
like one of
did.
the few good things that came out of there?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, if I didn't have Megan and like that whole circle of friends, I would have, like, I don't know, gone somewhere else, transferred schools or something like that. Because I was just, I found out that I hate small towns. It drives me crazy. But yeah, so I met Megan in 2008 in college, and the following year she's the one who actually got me into like cosplaying a little bit more. So after I cosplayed initially in 2009 with my roommate, then I started cosplaying more with Megan because she does Poison Ivy.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, it's one of her biggest costumes. But at the time, she was like, "Yeah, I do Poison Ivy. You should be Harley Quinn." And so that following Halloween, that's the first time I dressed up as Harley Quinn, and it just kind of went from there. We've done so many different versions of Harley.
I've seen several of those. Yeah.
Yeah, like mashups, original concepts, fan art, stuff like that.
One of the ones y'all did that I liked was y'all did like a biker gang version of
The punk,
the punk,
with Dana.
Yeah,
She
with
was
Dana,
Catwoman,
yeah. I saw those
That was
pictures. I'm
a lot
like,
of
that looks bad. I was like, I would be afraid to see them in an alleyway just because I know I'm probably
Right.
gonna get robbed or something.
That was one of our original concepts. We were like, let's do punk versions, and so
It came out really well.
Yeah.
So I saw some, like, again, I was like, wow, those look really, really cool. So
it was a lot of fun.
so you were all into anime. Were also into like DC or Marvel growing up?
Not really. Like, growing up, I guess you could say Marvel because I really like the X-Men animated series and X-Men Evolution.
Yeah.
And X-Men's always just kind of been my favorite, like, superhero group. because I like the concept of them having powers because of genetics.
Nice.
I think it's a better explanation than like, I don't know.
They're mutants.
Bitten by a spider. No hate on Spider-Man.
It's like shade thrown at Spider-Man.
Just kidding, no. But so I'm a huge fan of sci-fi.
Okay.
Anything sci-fi, I just like gobble it up. And so I think having that genetic component to like X-Men was just like, oh, this seems more scientific to me. But I love like all the other stuff too. But when it comes to comics, I didn't really like American comics growing up at all.
You were more into the manga?
I read manga like out the wazoo. I collected manga, and I think at my peak I had about $800 or $900 worth of manga.
Wow.
All bought, either gifted to me or I bought with like my own money. And then I realized right before I went off to college, I was like, why do I have all this manga? I can just read it online now. But
don't torrent, kids.
Don't torrent. But there's a lot of manga reading services that are legal.
Yeah, it's with the explosion of the internet. Because I mean, like 2009, 2008. I mean, like at that point, YouTube was like maybe 4 years old.
Yeah.
Instagram wasn't a thing. Facebook was just really starting to take off. So like everything, I think from like 2012, 2011 on, like everything really started exploding, and you could find stuff online now.
For
So,
sure.
So you say you love sci-fi a lot. Did you like more reading sci-fi or watching sci-fi, or just a little bit of it, watching it?
For sure.
Movies or TV shows?
Either or. Like Star Trek is my absolute favorite. I'm definitely a Trekkie.
So,
Although I haven't. It's my R2D2 tattoo. I like Star Wars too. You can like both, but definitely Star Trek is like my stepmother. Actually, she's the one who introduced me and my siblings to Star Trek when we were younger, and I was just engrossed. I loved it.
So I think, what was it all? I think Megan told me the same thing. Like she got into Star Trek first before, like for a while, everyone I was talking to was like, oh yeah, you know, when I was growing up, Star Wars, and I don't hear Star Trek very often. Like that was their gateway into the sci-fi stuff. So it's pretty cool seeing. Hey, guess what? There's Star Trek is actually more popular than I thought it was. At least for starting off into getting into sci-fi stuff. Because growing up, I got into Star Wars first. Like that was my introduction to sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
And then I really didn't get into Star Trek until the J. James Abrams movie came out.
Oh really?
So I'm like, I'm a Trekkie, but I'm not really a Trekkie because I haven't seen the original. I haven't seen Next Generation.
It doesn't matter.
Or any of those,
Here's the thing about fandoms is that the only prerequisite for being part of a fandom is you have to be a fan of the material.
There you go.
That's
I like
it.
that.
That's
I like
it.
that. See, I like that a lot.
It doesn't matter if you know every single detail of every single media that's out there. If you, like, I say I'm a fan of Batman, but I've seen Batman the animated series, and I've seen the Nolan movies.
And that's about it?
And that's about it. And I love Harley Quinn because of the animated series.
Yeah.
And then I did read her New 52 comics for a little bit, but that kind of dropped off.
Yeah. New 52 just kind of, yeah.
Although New 52 Supergirl, I loved it. I thought it was so good. But anyway, I'm not super into comics.
Any particular sci-fi movies that you absolutely love?
Oh God, there's so many. Let's see. The newer one, Annihilation, that came out with Natalie Portman.
Oh yeah.
God, that was so good.
Did you know that was actually a book series?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a
I had
book
no idea.
series.
I really enjoyed that, and God, I'll have to think back. I mean, I love the Star Trek movies. I was actually just talking about this the other day with a coworker.
Nice.
But my favorite Star Trek movie is First Contact, purely because I like the Borg. I think the Borg are amazing. I know it's not the most popular movie, but whatever. I also like Return of the Jedi because of Ewoks, so.
Same. I thought Return of the Jedi was actually the better of the three originals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, I pick out my favorite parts of any movie, and I'm just like, okay, this is it. This is why I like it. So, Ewoks, whatever. The Borg.
To go in a different direction, are you in high school? Did you do like theater or anything like that?
I didn't. I was an art kid.
Art kid? So you did a lot of, art classes, painting, ceramics, that kind of thing?
Yeah. So I was in art for like 3 or 4 years, I think. 7th grade to 11th grade. So yeah.
Did you want to do something with that, like growing up?
No, it was just, either I did art or I did band. And so I did art. And my older sister was in art. And so it was just one of those like, oh, my sister did it, I'll just do it too, kind of thing. And I like drawing. I wouldn't say that I'm like amazing, but I'm not bad either.
Did you ever like try to draw your own manga growing up? Or do like your own stories?
I would draw my own like little anime characters, but I never tried to make a manga by myself. No.
So with A-Kon 2019, this year was at Fair Park. Did you enjoy being at the new location, or was it kind of like, eh?
I think if it just weren't so hot. Like, that's really the main thing, is that if they had done it, like, I think Fair Park is beautiful. I think the location was really nice. But if they did it in, like, the fall, maybe not in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
When it's, like, triple digits. That's really it. And I understand they had to make a quick decision. They're like, we need a venue.
Yeah.
Like, all the things, the changes that made. And I think they did, like, with the time that they were given and the resources they had, I think they actually did a really good job with finding a venue, and everything was inside.
Yeah.
Everything that fun to do, all the panels, everything like that was inside. So it's not like people were forced to be outside if they wanted to partake in anything.
Yeah.
But walking from building to building was definitely it was just a sweat fest. That's all it was.
With the cosplays, you said you do a lot of group ones. Do you have anything in the future, like planned either for group or for yourself?
Oh God.
Or something that you wanted to do but just haven't been able to do it just yet?
I have so many. Like, you should see my cosplay ideas folder. Like, it's just ridiculous. There's ideas in there from like 6-7 years ago that I still have the fabric for that I never actually did.
Anyone that you really wanted to do but I just haven't been able to pull the trigger for one reason or another?
My dream cosplay would be a female Amon from Terra Online. It's an MMO, and I played it for like a few months, but I just fell in love with the character design for Amon, which is one of the races.
Nice.
You can have or play as in there, and it's one of those like huge builds. Like, I'd have to have stilts and all this stuff, but
one day, right?
One day, maybe. We'll see. But I think group-wise, there's so many groups. I mean, the most recent one I did was Mortal Kombat with Megan and Brianna.
Nice.
Yeah.
You were...
I was Scorpion.
That's right. Oh, yes. I saw the gifts on... y'all did it at that gaming convention. That was DreamHack, yeah.
Yes. So, we had a booth. Well, I was at the booth there with my job, so we had a booth there. But, yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I like cosplaying at conventions. Like, it's part of a group. It makes it a lot more fun when you're walking around with people.
Yeah, because then y'all can do like different poses, like y'all fighting or just being all together. So
yeah.
So you say you played the MMO Terra. Do you also like to game a lot?
I do. Well, when I have a chance. The thing is, when you get older, you get busier.
That's true. That's true. I barely have time to do these. I have to like pick my day off is doing videos. Which, I mean, it's nice. It gets me out of the house, so.
Yeah.
Do you do mostly like Xbox, PS4, or PC?
Mostly PC, but I have everything. So I have PS4, Xbox, but I've seen 90% of my gaming from PC because why not? Like.
Did you build your own PC?
Kind of. I mean, it was custom built. I didn't personally put it together, but I just got some new parts, so I'll be upgrading it soon.
What do you usually like to play online?
I play a lot of single player games. I don't play with people. I'm a loner when it comes to gaming. Yeah. So last night I was actually playing Zoo Tycoon because I was like, I want something calming, and I can do this. I'm gonna make my own zoo, my dream zoo.
Do you remember like your first gaming system when you were a kid? Like what was the one that kind of got you into gaming?
It was the Atari Jaguar.
Oh wow!
So fun fact: before I settled on Cee Noel as my like cosplay moniker, I called myself Atari Girl.
Okay.
And that had to do with a couple of things, because Atari Jaguar was my first gaming console, but also there was this old show on YouTube that was like This Week in Video Games or something like that.
Okay.
I don't know. I knew like the host of it
Nice.
out in LA. And so when I was out there, after they finish filming the show, they bring in like their studio audience, which is usually like 3 or 4 people, their friends that happen to be there.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like have some banter with the chat, the online chat. And so the day that they were filming, I happened to be wearing an Atari shirt. And so post show, I was just like chilling out, having a conversation, like talking with them. And someone in the chat was like, "Oh, who's Atari girl?" And I was like, "Oh, hey,
I like that.
I could use that." And so I used Atari girl for like, oh god, like 5 or 6 years. And then a couple years ago, I just rebranded because Atari is copyrighted. And I was like, I don't want to get into a lawsuit. Yeah.
How did Cee Noel come about? Where'd that come from?
My name's Christina, so my first initial is C, and my middle name's Noel.
Oh, well, there you go. Real nice and basic.
I know.
It's very unique though, because I was like, whenever people pick the cosplay names, I'm like, I wonder how they, like, some of them are obvious, like,
Yeah.
I see cosplay for Megan, and then like Charles Fournier, when he told me how Chuck's production came about, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I think he said they were like at a Taco Bell or at a Starbucks. And when I think it was Starbucks, and he said, "Yeah, my name's Charles," and they put Chax.
Chax.
And like, how you get Chax from Charles? So, yeah, watch that video. If you haven't seen the video with Charles, watch that one. He explains it better than I did.
Watch the one with Megan too.
Yes, watch them all. But yeah, so I'm always interested in how people get their cosplay names, because some of them, like, you know, it's my first initial and my middle name, and others are like, oh, it's a funny story, or it's like because I love this supervillain or hero or whatever. So,
Yeah.
like, for a while I was the Pink Knight cosplay.
Pink Knight.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I was like, you know,
Instead of Dark Knight.
It's Dark Knight, yeah. So because
yeah.
I did the Princess Batman one, so that
Right.
one kind of I use it for. I mean, it's still on Facebook, but I haven't posted like in 5 years,
Yeah.
just because I don't really.
Well, because the reason I started using Cee Noel, it was Atari Girl. I didn't like having girl in my moniker, so I
Yeah.
was like, that kind of, I don't know, I'm a woman. I'm an adult, I'm not a girl.
There you go.
But also, I settled on Cee Noel, but I don't use Cee Noel cosplay because I don't want it to like limit what people know me for.
Yeah.
Yes, because I use Cee Noel across all my platforms. So, you know, Twitch, I use Cee Noel, Twitter, Instagram, all that. So I don't want to be limited to be like, oh, the only place that I use Cee Noel cosplay is on Facebook, because that's where I just post all my cosplays on
Yeah.
Facebook. So that is specifically cosplay, but everything else I was like, I don't want it to limit me. I don't want to be like Cee Noel the cosplayer. I just want to be like Cee Noel the
gamer or the person.
Yeah, the person. I guess.
You said you have a thing on Twitch. Do you stream a lot of games?
I used to. A few years ago, I really got into streaming, and I was streaming a couple times a week pretty consistently. And then I moved a lot, and then things happened. I ran out of time, like career moves. It was just a lot and whatnot. So I stopped streaming as much. I was trying to get back into it a few months ago, but life is it's crazy. Because I'm in school right now too. So
Or what are you going to school for?
my MBA.
Your MBA.
Yeah.
Is hard?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's online because
Oh, it's not bad,
I don't
then.
have time for in-person classes,
Yeah.
but it's fine.
And what do you want to do, like, long term?
Well, I'm doing it for project management, and so I want to do project management, preferably for like nonprofits, something to do with like philanthropy or community or something of that extent.
Yeah.
My dream job is working for the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would you would have to move up to Seattle probably, maybe.
I mean, that's my goal.
There you go.
I'm trying to leave. I'm trying to go to the West Coast. So whether that's back to LA or somewhere in California, preferably Washington, but we'll see.
Have you been up to Seattle?
Oh yeah, several times.
I went there again about 11 years ago, and I was like, I love it's green for one.
It's so green. I love it.
It rains a lot, which I absolutely love.
Oh,
And-
I mean, I could do without that.
And it's just real nice out there. So
It is.
I hope that happens for you one day. So that sounds like working for Bill and is it Linda or Melinda?
Melinda.
Melinda. Okay.
Yeah.
Gates would be just absolutely awesome because they do so much good for the world. I think.
do.
And he's like one of the most humble billionaires out there, so it'd be really, really nice. Because you currently work for his company, right?
For Microsoft.
Okay.
Like, he's not CEO anymore.
No. He's a creator of Microsoft.
Right.
So.
I mean, yeah, definitely. He's still like on the board, I guess. I don't know what his actual role is, but yeah, I do work for Microsoft. So that's my goal, is to move to Washington and either work for Microsoft corporate or somehow weasel my way into Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Going back to gaming, you said like a lot of single player games. Anything you like? Say someone's trying to find a new game. What would you kind of recommend to them?
It really depends what genre they want. So if you're looking more for like RPGs and stuff, I played Kingdom of Amalur for a really long time, and I thought that was pretty fun. Any of the Telltale games, those are nice, especially if you don't have a lot of time for gaming, because you can sit down and play an episode in a couple hours and like it's a good stopping place.
Yeah.
If you want more like adventure, I don't play a lot of adventure games. Okami. Ooh. So Okami is one of the greatest games of all time, and it's in my top 5 forever and always. And it's just a really great game. They remastered it. It came out on PS2 originally. They remastered it for PS3, PS4, and PC.
Nice.
They released a version that was on the DS. It's just a really good game.
All right. So I have to ask about this. I'm sorry. I got a thing on my thing. On my phone. I got something. I got a text. Cora talked about this game that she played back in the day called Suikoden.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever play that one? Did you ever get into it?
No, those aren't really my kind of games.
Okay, cool. Because I was just wondering, because she's like, I want them to come up with another one, and I'm like, well, you never know. So,
yeah.
Because I think
really good.
Nintendo, I think, owns it now. So, love with anime and manga and all that. Have you ever wanted to go to Japan?
Oh, yes. I really want to go next year for the Olympics, but I know
that is next year, isn't it?
It is, yes. Like, if I could make that work somehow to get to Japan next year for the Olympics and like spend 2 or 3 weeks there, I would just die. I might not come back. We'll see.
I mean, in a way, you really would be going way out to the West Coast. Like, because you'd be going past California and keep going west, and you'll eventually hit Japan.
Yeah.
So with, if someone wants to get into either a manga or into an anime, what would you recommend people to start off with? If they don't want to get something too heavy?
I think that, so just from experience, Cowboy Bebop seems to be like a really good anime for people who are like, I don't know if I like anime. Because I've met people who are like, oh, I hate anime, and then they watch Cowboy Bebop and are like, oh, this is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think Cowboy Bebop is a really great like gateway anime to be like, because it's just a great story overall. There's a lot of action, there's drama, there's comedy, like everything. There's great characters. So I think if you are trying to get into anime, you don't know where to start with Cowboy Bebop. I think it's only like 30 whatever episodes.
It's
like
not bad.
It's not super long.
Yeah.
And then just kind of go from there. Like, I think that people who don't like anime just don't realize the breadth of like how much is out there. Like, if there's a specific genre that you really like, there's probably an anime for it. Like, from hentai to like kiddie stuff, right? That's for like children. So I don't know. Like, I think Cowboy Bebop's a good starting place for sure.
Did you do you like Studio Ghibli as well?
Oh yeah. If you're just looking for an anime movie, Studio Ghibli is like
Ghibli. Okay, that's what I said.
Ghibli. I don't know. I've heard it both ways. But yeah, those movies are amazing. Like, it doesn't matter just because they're animated, but the stories are great. The characters are great. The scenery is great. Spirited Away seems to be a tried and true, like, really popular.
That is actually my wife's favorite Studio Ghibli film. I've seen bits and pieces of them. I've never actually sat there and watched any of them.
What?
So, yeah, I know. My wife gives me crap about it. She's like, "Hey, you need to watch this." And I'm like, "I will at some point." Like, we show them at work. I work at. I mean, y'all know I work at Alamo. I mean, we do. I think it's April or May that we do an entire month of Studio Ghibli stuff. So
I rewatched Princess Mononoke.
Hey, there you go.
That time there.
Do you prefer it subbed or dubbed?
Subbed.
Subbed?
Yeah, I mean, so there are some really good dubs out there, like, and they're getting better. I think because anime is becoming so, well, it became so popular. Like, it started really picking up speed, I think, in like 2010, 11, whatever, when like Funimation and Crunchyroll and all that stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They realized that there's a lot of money in anime, and I feel like. Because a lot of these companies, especially Funimation, they'll do the simulcasting. And so when it's airing in Japan, it's airing here.
Yeah.
And so it's no longer one of those things that if you wanted to watch anime as it was coming out, you don't have to torrent it anymore because it's available.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I haven't torrented anime in a long time because of that.
Don't do it, kids. It's
Don't
illegal.
do it, kids.
It's illegal.
But I mean, whatever. There's a lot of legality behind that too, but... But yeah, so I think that there's just anime is so available now that it's really hard not to come across it. So
There was one that came out in Nickelodeon years ago called Avatar: The Last Airbender.
yes,
Now, some people say it's anime, other people say it's not.
it's not, but it's a really good animated show.
Okay, cool. See, I'm always
Well,
wondering-
I'm not the deciding factor, but that's my opinion. Is because anime to me comes from Japan.
Okay.
That's it.
That's one of the main arguments I've heard. It's for it to be anime, it needs to come from Japan. And I'm
Yeah.
like, that's a really good argument. The style is anime, but it's not anime. So it's animated, but it's not.
For sure.
So, yeah, I got to I binge watched that one after a while, and I was like, I liked it a lot. So
Oh, it's so good.
right now I need to get back into My Hero Academia.
Oh, yep, that's a good one.
Have you seen it all, or
Oh
are you?
yeah, I'm waiting for season 4. I'm so ready.
Anything current that you absolutely love right now?
It's not current, but my friend finally sat me down and said, "You're watching this as One Punch Man." I have this thing that the more people tell me to watch something, the less likely I am to actually like go out and watch it on my own. And so for stuff like that, someone has to be like, "Okay, we're sitting down. We're gonna watch it right now." And then I fell in love with it. It's just it's so funny. And it's just ridiculous. But One Punch Man is really good. My Hero Academia is like my main one that I'm watching right now. That's about it. Same reason. I don't have time for anime. I don't have time for video games.
Yeah, growing up sucks. Kids, don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. You have a job,
Yeah.
responsibility.
All these other things. Awesome. Well, Christina, thank you so much. I got to know you a lot better. I think everyone else did as well. Where can people find you on social media?
On Facebook, I'm /Cee Noel cosplay. That's CEE. On Twitter, I'm C_Noel. And then Instagram, I'm C.Noel. Twitch, I'm just Cee Noel without any punctuation.
There you go. So, guys, if she ever gets time to go out there and game and want to watch her play some games, go on Twitch, follow her cosplay page, see what she's coming out with, any other group cosplays that she does, and then what's your next? What are your next plans? Next convention, I guess. Or,
Maybe Anime Fest. We'll see.
You got any cosplays lined up for that one if you end up going?
I'm actually working on an Animal Crossing one.
Hey! Are you excited for the one coming out for the Switch?
Oh yes, it might motivate me to actually get a Switch.
There you go.
So we'll see.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. And as always,
Keep on nerding.